Welcome to a Kyosho Legendary Series video by RC Empire, and welcome to the Kyosho Fantom. Now in the last episode you saw us fitting this great little Savox servo that we picked up, and that fitted really nice and really simply. And in this episode we're going to be getting along with the build and fitting the ESC and the receiver, which will just leave the brilliant motor that we've got on its way for the next episode before we get this out on the track. So let's get straight into it. Now initially, I know we said we were going to go all out and build an insane speed machine with a brushless motor and ESC. And actually, we were going to put a 14-turn brushless Orion system in here, which we might still do later on. However, for now, we've had a change of heart and decided to go old school, because I'm a massive old school stock fan. And actually, I'm really interested at the motor recommendations Kyosho have made. And that is the one that we've chosen and we'll be showing you and fitting in the next episode. So do watch out for that. But exactly the same as we did with the Kyosho Ultima, we've decided to go back to basics with a brushed system and brushed electronics, which are easy to find, easy to install and easy to handle, which is great, especially if you're a beginner and this is your first kit build. I think this is the best way to go, especially with this ESC, the Kyosho Speed waterproofed 60 amp brushed ESC, part number 82245. And this is a great simple little speed controller. You can pick them up for around £40, and this is actually the same one we put in the Kyosho Ultima we did a while ago, and it has been flawless for around a year. So you really can't go too far wrong with this and the brushed motor. Quickly, this does have a few operation options, like a choice between running LiPos or NIMH batteries and forward brake reverse versus forward brake options. And the way you choose these are with these little tabs, so just move them around to the desired position. Now actually, in the Ultima, we went for the Kyosho G22 brushed motor, which as I found has tons of torque and is a great little motor, especially for the price. But as you will see, we've gone with something a little more special for the Fantom, and we'll be taking a look at that in the next episode. But anyway, let's fit the ESC. Basically, there's only one place this can really go on this chassis, and that's on the chassis underneath the top plate. Now remember, you are limited on the size of the ESC that you can fit on this little model. So you can't put a huge one like the ones you get on monster trucks and expect it to fit on a 12th scale racer. So do take a look at the manual and the ESC measurements as you saw in the last episode, and double check this before you buy anything, because you've also got a really flat body on top of the Fantom, so I don't think you'll be able to mount much onto the top plate. And even if you could, what you want to do is try and keep the components as low to the ground as possible to keep your center of gravity nice and low. Now a little key point here. One thing to be careful of is don't put the ESC too far back, or it may get in the way of your battery, and also don't put it too far to the left hand side of the chassis, because it might get in the way of the servo arm. And actually it fits pretty much perfectly right here, and you can stick your on and off switch there too, which will be spot on once you've got the body on. So take your sticky back tape that comes with the speed controller, make sure that the surfaces are nice and clean, and normally I'd give them a wipe with methylated spirits on a lint free cloth, and then just stick it down and secure it tightly. And then finally we can run our wires nicely up through here and wait for the motor. And that's it for the speed controller. Again, super simple, really easy to access. You can also access those tabs from that hole at the top, and as expected with the Fantom, a great little layout. And the motor wires coming off the ESC as well are a perfect length for this chassis, so you don't need to cut anything or solder anything. But that is it for the speed controller. And finally, a quick little bonus, let's fit the receiver on now too, which is super simple. So what we have here is the Futaba R202GF, which we're stealing off our Kyosho Sandmaster for now, but this is pretty much my go-to basic servo. Really cheap at around £25, and we've never had a single glitch or issue with any of them. It's the same one we used on the Kyosho Ultima and similar to the one we used on our TTO2 build project, and we will again be using the Futaba 3PV transmitter, which is a great transmitter and a great price at around £100, which comes with a receiver. So that's what we'll be using with the Fantom. Quickly, if we clean the back off the old one and use some methylated spirits to clean off any of the old gunge and the old tape. Now the manual says to stick it into position on this perfectly positioned plate here, which acts as the battery stop too. And that's it. Make sure before you stick everything down that all your wires reach to where they need to go. And we'll feed the aerial up and around here. Clamp it in place ever so slightly, just enough to put a little bit of resistance there to stop it falling out. Make sure you don't crush it or cut it with that little grub screw. And that is our receiver, electronic speed controller and servo now fitted. And all we need to do now is wait for the power. The incredible motor that we've got on its way for the Fantom, truly turning this into a legend. And I cannot wait for that. So do subscribe and watch out for that in the next episode, where we will also be tidying up all the wires and components before doing a final summary video of the car and getting it out on track. But that's it. Please do subscribe to the RC Empire website, which is coming out very soon, as we'll have every single product and every resource you'll need to get involved with the hobby and RC industry and get racing. So do keep an eye out on that and get involved. But that's it. Thank you for watching and see you soon.